Hello and welcome to a very brief follow-up on my efforts to do vacuforming. Those who follow my channel will know I started out using this, and as far as a vacuum platform went and a smooth surface, it was perfectly fine. The problem with this was when you have your plastic in here and you start to warm it up, this surface tends to stick to this surface. Now it doesn't really adhere to it. As soon as everything cools down, it lifts right off, but while you're warming it up, the two of them sticking together, you get little air bubbles underneath. We in frame here? There we go. You get little air bubbles underneath, little, for lack of a better term, inclusions, and you get distortions on the face of your piece when you're done. So I scrapped that idea. It was a good start. And what I'm using now, this is a tempered glass cutting board. And as I'm doing this more and more, I'm starting to get real comfortable. And probably isn't going to be evident here, but that's virtually a perfect piece. There's some scratches in this coating, but there's no inclusions, there's no distortions. I've done several of these now and they're starting to come out really good. I'm getting comfortable doing this. The glass surface is flat and the plastic doesn't stick, and when you put your part in there and you start warming it from the center and going out and out and out, because you want to start in the center because it's naturally bowed there anyway and you want the air to go off to the sides, you'll periodically hear it go crack, snap, crack. And what's happening is the glass, or the plastic, as it expands and contracts on the glass, it's slipping a little bit, and any air that's trapped in there escapes, and you end up, well, this one's got a mark in it from dirt. This is the good one. The air gets out and everything settles down. Now, a word of warning: if you're making your mold, or the female mold out of Lexan, you have to put channels on the side here for the vacuum to get in. You get plenty of vacuum traveling around the border because the tape doesn't get right up tight against whatever you're using for a mold, and there's plenty of vacuum path around the outside, but you absolutely have to put little cuts in like this, because this is so flat and the glass is so flat that once it starts to pull down, you lose your vacuum. Your vacuum goes away. And trust me, I've tried it several times. It just doesn't happen. Now, I even put vacuum channels on the bottom of this piece of wood. I don't think I really need them because the wood isn't going to seal that much, but it helps for, it's a quicker vacuum. It pulls down harder. What else? Oh, you've heard the term cleanliness is next to godliness. Well, in this case, cleanliness is next to oh my godliness. You're going to get serious imperfections from the tiniest, and I mean the tiniest piece of debris, dust, whatever gets on the glass. So you clean the glass carefully with a Windex, and when you bring your plastic over, I got an air nozzle, and I blow this out, and I blow the plastic off, and I blow this out, and then I look at everything under magnification, because if you have the tiniest piece of debris on here, it's going to make a nasty looking inclusion or bump. There, I think you can see that. I couldn't even see that until I started to form up and I saw the bump come up, and I said, oh my God, something snuck under there after I got the plastic on. This stuff produces a lot of static electricity. When you blow it off, stuff will go to the other side. So you've got to go back and forth several times and make sure that nothing has jumped to the other side of the plastic. I've used anti-static stuff on here, and it helps to a degree, but the best thing is just lots and lots and lots of care. And you'll end up with a nice faceplate for your radio. For those in the US, this is just a piece of Lexan I stuck on here. This fitting happens to fit my vacuum line. 1/8 NP or 1/4 NPT 1/2-inch diameter hole in the Lexan. You don't even need a tap. It'll thread right in and seal. Makes a beautiful vacuum connection. And one more thing I forgot to mention. I always remember right after I shut the camera down. I use this same Kapton tape to form a seal around here. And when you're done, you can just peel it right off and leave, if you're making 2 or 3 or 4 molds or pieces out of the same mold, you can leave this Kapton tape on here, just peel the top stuff off. This stuff is really great to work with, and it's got a great adhesive. It even sticks to the plywood and forms nearly a perfect vacuum seal. But you do need to tape this down to get enough of a vacuum for this to pull in. Okay. So that's about it. You can use wood, you can use Lexan, you can use whatever you want for the mold. But your back needs to be glass if you want all the bubbles, air bubbles, to find their way out, because plastic on plastic just doesn't work. You can get it to work, but it's a horror show making sure you don't get any bubbles underneath it. That's it. That's how far we've come. And, oh, that's the wrong one. We're starting to get some pretty decent results. I've left the backing paper on here. Oh, that's another thing. You can do it with or without the backing paper. This peels off pretty easily. If you overheat it and it starts to bubble or blister, then you're going to have a little more of a hard time getting the backing plastic off, but it'll form up very nicely with or without it. This I'm planning on having around for a while until the radio's ready, so I left the plastic on it. If I'm going to use them right away, I go ahead and just put the bare acrylic sheet on here and vacuum it down and immediately install it. Okay, I hope those hints helped somebody. It's been a learning curve, but it's been a fun learning curve, and now that I've figured out all the problems, it's kind of fun making these things. I'm the Radio Mechanic. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye-bye.